So I thought it would be cool just to show how I did the 60s minimalism track that I did for Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So I was just going to really quickly just go down what I put in this, just one at a time. It starts out with this, let me change the output so that it goes through the speaker that I have here. I wanted to just like not think at all when I was making this, if that makes any difference, or if that makes any sense. I wanted to just like do and not like theorize or anything like that. So I just kind of recorded as many things as I possibly could. And then from there I kind of like cut back. I prefer to kind of like sculpt down as opposed to building up. So I just put a bunch of ideas down, and then whatever sticks is the one I end up leaving there. So it starts out with this little guitar-y thing. Is anybody even watching this? Oh, hello. It starts out with this little guitar-y thing, and then I have, this is all mono, by the way, because I wanted it to be kind of like 60s style. And then I add in this, I add in this 12th string. Well, it's not really a 12th string, it's called Nashville Tuning. You can do it with any guitar, except it's kind of bad for the neck, so you probably shouldn't leave it all the time, but it's just the highest strings of the 12th string. So if you think about it, like a 12th string is just like a regular guitar, except it has like octaves higher strings in it, and that's what I'm pairing with the guitar playing something else. So it kind of gives this like sprightly vibe. The next thing I put in there is a mandolin, which I'm just playing like chopped chords, I think. Just a little bling. And that's just kind of to intensify the high pitch things. I was trying not to like mix any of this, just more like add where it needs it. And there's a banjo part. I'm a terrible banjo player. And then this is an actual 12 string, an electric 12 string that I wanted to put in here. Is this even in focus? I don't even know. I hope it is. Anyways, oh, and I had a feeling this would happen. My computer is in desperate need of more RAM. I think I need to like build a computer. If anybody's ever done that, please message me if you ever watch this, because I desperately need to do that. Just a pretty simple like adds to the rest of it kind of. That's where there's a lot of stuff going. And then the big intros from this. It's a baritone guitar, which is kind of like a regular guitar, but it's dropped a whole fourth, so it's very. It's almost like a heavy metal thing, but you can make it do stuff like this too. Famous for spaghetti western style things. That very 60s cowboy thing. There's kind of a big thing at 110 where all these other instruments came in, just because I didn't want to make this track, like, if I added one thing at a time, it would be like 20 minutes long. So real quickly, I'll show you the other parts that I've added in here. This is a baritone ukulele, which is kind of like a baritone, which is kind of like a ukulele, but a little bit lower. And I actually have an effect on this right now that's adding an octave on top of it, because I needed a little more. When I got the whole track done, I needed a little extra snap in there, so I added this like a little bit of pitch. It's pretty extreme on its own, but within the context of the track. A lot going on. Bass drum kicks, just, you know. Let's see what else I added over here. This is just a melodica hit here. Just playing long sweeping chords, because everything was like real strings, so, and like string, you hit the note and the note attacks and then decays off, so I needed something that was kind of more flowy. So I just played some simple chords on a melodica. There's also a bass here. together sound really nice. So then I did some very embarrassingly out of tune vocals. And I purposely didn't like get the best. What software work? This is just GarageBand. I didn't want to work with anything super fancy. If I'm recording something that I really care about, I'll go to someone else. But like this computer can't really handle much more than just GarageBand right now, and even then, it doesn't really work super well with it. So, but in the context, like the out of tune vocals don't really sound out of tune because it's so. It's weird to explain. Like pitch is like relative, and as long as like everything kind of floats around where you're in pitch, if you layer it up enough, it just kind of sounds cool. And as soon as you put all the reverb into like the finished one, this is all dry right now. There's no reverb whatsoever. See, those vocals don't really sound out of tune anymore. Also some flourishy percussion here. Let's see if I can get it to play. This is just like a stock percussion thing from the... just to give it some movement. Not too much fun playing the bass. And the last thing I put in here was a concertina, which is actually this, which is like a piratey instrument, which is just this really drony. Kind of breathy. But again, that's just more drones to add to the ending of this thing. Yeah, and that's it. This is, of course, dry, so a lot of the things poke out a lot. But the final track, I'll show you the final track here in a second. I couldn't actually upload it with the same with the reverb on it because I have a plug-in for a reverb that's actually an abandoned NSA listening tower, which is really like such a cool thing. But finally with the reverb, well, you know what? You can see the final product on my Facebook. It's probably just going to pop up there, or it'll be the next one. And just added a bunch of reverb to it. Kind of smooths everything out, so it's like things don't poke out as much anymore. And that's how I did. That's how I record a lot of stuff. It's just I'll just record either with a microphone. And this thing, it was like $100 maybe. I bought it off a friend. Thanks to it. You can get them new, or you can get them used for like $100 to $150 around there. And it's 2 inputs. That's all you'll need if you're trying to make music at home. And I just use like standard microphones. So yeah, thanks for watching if you're interested in this at all. Hopefully that was in any way not in focus.